little different than everybody else. You know, when I see a movie, I'm just like, oh, that's a cool movie. You know, Spider-Man Saved the Day, or, you know, there's Batman. You know, I like watching it. I'm like, oh, that's a good, like, I can make a sermon topic out of that, you know. And so when I knew what I was preaching on, I knew I'd want to use this clip. But I hadn't seen this movie in years. And so I pull up, you know, go to YouTube looking for the clip. And I'm watching it. And I mean, I'm just like, holy moly, you know, this is like, boom, like right on the head, you know. And I'm sitting there, and because, you know, I don't see Neo and Morpheus. I don't see Lawrence Fishburne and Keanu Reeves. I see God and us. And because, you know, here it is, and, you know, and it's God, and we go in there, and he says, you know, I'm waiting for you. I've been waiting for you, you know, your whole life, and you're here because you know something's not right. You know that the world's not what it seems. You know that something that's your purpose in life, there's more to life than what you've been living. You know, that's not just what he's saying to me, that's what God says to us. And we come to God when we're curious, and we're like, God, we start thinking, like, there's got to be more than this. There's got to be more than just a mundane, you know, 8 hours every day, 40 in, 40 out. There's more to this, God. And we come to him, and he says, okay, you're right, there is more to this. And you have a choice. You know, you can take, I can show you everything. I can show you your destiny. I can show you your future. You can serve me, or you can pretend this never happened. You can deny me, and that's it. And so that's really, it's amazing how, to me, like that movie, you know, I know it's a movie. But I see that, and I'm just like, holy cow, you know, that's like the offer of salvation right there. It's God speaking to us saying, here I am, you know, here's the choice, what are you going to make? And so we have a choice, like I said, it's the red pill or the blue pill. And in Matthew 12:30, Jesus says, he who is not with me is against me, and he who does not gather with me scatters. Just flick that switch up there, to switch it over to the other monitor. So we're sitting here, you know, and we have here, there's two choices. He says, he who's not with me is against me, and he who's not, you know, he who does not gather with me scatters. So, you know, obviously we don't want to be against God, you know. So obviously we're like, well, God, I'm not taking the blue pill. I don't want to be against you. I would never want to be your enemy. But then we sit there and we go, but God, there's something about that the other pill that you know, fighting for you means I'm fighting. And so we kind of go, well, God, I'm gonna choose the green pill. You know, you're probably sitting there thinking, okay, well, there's a red pill, there's a blue pill. I don't remember a green pill. Well, it's because there is no green pill, but what the green pill represents is neutrality. You know, I know I'm speaking kind of goofy, but I like to, you know, Jesus talked in parables, and sometimes kind of trying to, like, the Matrix is my parable for the evening. Bear with me. And so, you know, here it is, and we pick this pill that doesn't exist. We sit here and we say, you know, God, I want to choose this right here because, you know, if I'm neutral, I'm not in the war. If I pick this line, I'm not against you because I don't want to burn in hell forever. That'd be really awful, and so I'm not going to be against you. But if I'm totally for you, then that means life can be a little bit tough. You know, just like that movie. You know, he's saying, hey, I'm just offering you the truth. I'm not offering you, Neo, a candy-coated life. It's going to be difficult. You know, it's the same with us. God says, I'm offering you the truth. But the truth isn't always easy to take. The truth isn't always friendly and covered with roses and stuff. So we try to choose the neutral path. We try to choose the path of neutrality. And I'm thinking, you know, why do we do that? We can't do it. It's not in here. God didn't say, you know, if you want to be on the fence, you can. He said you're either for me or you're against me. So, you know, we've accepted that we can't choose this, you know. We can't choose the neutral path. But why do we choose it? Why are we so prone? What are the reasons we give? Because we always give reasons that we choose this other path. And the first one that I think the most often I hear is that, you know, God, I'd fight for you. I'd give it all for you, God, but I'm too busy. Now, we all know in America, you know, we have our super busy lives, and, you know, we're 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, whatever, you know. Then you have our favorite TV shows and all that good stuff. But, you know, God showed me a few years back that I was never too busy. Because I used to use that excuse, God, I'm too busy, God. You know, I'll do this, but, you know, I mean, I'll set my foot in this pool, but I'm not going to jump in the lake. And so God kind of showed me one day when my computer stopped working, my cable TV stopped working, and, you know, everything kind of stops working, and no one's, you know, my phone's not working. It's like, okay, can't call anybody, can't watch TV, can't get on the computer. You know, what can I do? And it's like God just said to me, how do you spend time with me? And I'm like, well, you know, it's like, well, I thought you were too busy. Oh, well, guys, I guess I'm not so busy, God. You see, we sometimes think we're so busy that, you know, when we actually evaluate our lives, we're not that busy. Our busyness is a lot of times, you know, TV shows or, you know, hanging out with friends and doing all this stuff. And, you know, if we're that busy, God has a way of unbusying us. Let me tell you, from experience, God will find a way to unbusy you, so to speak. You know, that's not grammatically correct. And, you know, and some of us, we are busy, really are busy with legitimate needs, you know, families and and jobs and all this. And some people work 80 hours a week and crazy stuff like that, and they're doing everything they can to make it. But what I always thought was interesting is that Jesus' miracles took place when he was busy. The thing about the Bible, and if you look at the Bible and you read through the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and you'll see that every time that Jesus was teaching, or Jesus is talking to the disciples, or he's talking to the crowd, someone's coming up and Jesus, yeah, I have leprosy. Could you heal me and stuff? And hey, Jesus, hey, I'm blind. Can you? I know you're around here somewhere. Can you heal me? Hey, Jesus, I can't walk. Can you heal me? I mean, people were always coming up to him every single second of every day. They're always coming up to him when he was doing something. He's walking, trying to get to Jerusalem, trying to fulfill his purpose, and people are just all around saying, Jesus, I need you to heal me. Jesus, Jesus, and they're begging for Jesus. And yet, I realized that Jesus never said, oh, I'm sorry, I'm kind of teaching here. Can you come back in 5 minutes, guys? Hello, addressing the crowd here. I'm talking about the Beatitudes, okay, a little busy. Jesus never did that. Jesus never sat there and said, I'm too busy. I'm sorry. I'm too busy to heal you right now. And if anyone could do it, it was him, And he sat there, and every time that he was interrupted, he addressed the need, he healed them, and he said, Jesus wasn't defined by his busy work. Jesus was defined by what happened during the interruptions. And so that needs to be our life. We're not defined by what we do from 8 to 5 or from 12 to 12 or whatever our hours are. That's not what defines us. What are our interruptions? Our interruptions are what define us. And so if we ever say to God, well, I'm too busy, the truth of the matter is we're never too busy. We have plenty of time if we really evaluate it. And if we don't, we need to make some time, because if Jesus could make time for some people, then, so could we. So, you might be sitting here going, okay, Greg, well, okay, I can't choose a neutral path. I understand I can't be too busy. So the main excuse, and this is the one I'm going to really focus on tonight, that I hear, is that people say, Greg, I would love to serve Jesus. I really would. But I'm not very qualified. I don't have any talents. I can't sing on the worship team. My voice cracks. And I can't talk on the stage because I get really nervous. And I can't do anything, Greg. I'm not qualified. And so tonight, I'm going to take you through a messload of Scripture. And I'm just going to give you the references, because if I were to read it all, we'd be here till Thanksgiving of next year. And so I'm going to give you the Scripture references and kind of summarize the points for us. And so in Exodus chapters 3 and 4, we have the story of Moses. Now, we all know the story of Moses. But, I love Moses. It's such a cool story. Here's this man. He's 80 years old at the time. He has all these sheep, and he's going through the desert, and he sees this bush, and he's thinking, okay, well, this bush is on fire, and it's not burning up. It's kind of cool. What's going on over here? And so Moses kind of comes to the bush, and like us, if I saw a car on fire and it wasn't burning up and no one was inside, I would think, this is kind of cool. And so Moses approaches the bush, but the next thing that happens, I don't know about being so cool. I think I would kind of freak out, because as Moses approaches the bush talks back. Now, I don't know about you, but if you see a tree on fire, and you're like, that's kind of cool, man, this ain't burning up, you start going to it, and he goes, Greg, I've been lying. I'm going to set the record for the 40-yard dash. Okay, Carl Lewis, he ain't going to touch me. I'm the fastest white man that ever lived, okay? I'm telling you right now, I'd be booking it going, oh my gosh, the tree's gone! Like, hey, man, trees don't talk, And here's Moses, and the bush is sitting there, and it's like, Moses, and Moses, maybe Moses had the opposite approach. Like when the train's coming at you, some people run. That's smart. Other people just kind of stand there with the deer in the headlights look, and get hit by it. I think maybe Moses had that reaction, because Moses sat there and he said, here I am. And we know the story, and God talks to him. He's like, hey, Moses, got a mission for you. And obviously this is paraphrasing. God doesn't talk like this, except in my head. It's kind of cool. So here's Moses, and God's like, hey, Moses, that guy you ran from 40 years ago? Pharaoh? Yeah, Pharaoh. Yeah. Kill that Egyptian. Oh, man, I killed the Egyptian. I wonder if God remembers that. Ooh. So, Moses, I want you to go and talk to Pharaoh and tell him to free the Israelites.